Hello, it's Shirley, and today I'm going to talk a bit about emotional pain. We've been talking about pain in general, and today I want to specifically focus in on emotional pain and mental health related to our emotional pain. There was a recent study that came out of the University of Michigan that showed that of the 16% of Americans that have mental health issues, they use over 50% of the opioids prescribed in the country. So we are disproportionately prescribing opioids for emotional pain. It's a complicated relationship. At times, certainly people that have mental health issues certainly have physical pain. Sometimes our mental health issues present as physical pain because it is more accepted to have a physical pain. And the way the traditional medical system treats pain is by prescribing opioids, often as a first line, as opposed to working through other avenues to get pain relief. And of the nearly 19% of the Americans with mental health issues do use opioids. So that's almost a fifth. So it is an issue. And so how else can we address our emotional pain without resorting to opioids, which may actually either mask our emotional pain and our mental health issues, and at times can even make them worse. So I'd like to describe to you, we went to a lovely place this spring in the Caribbean, the Dominica, beautiful island. And it is a volcanic island. It's a very old volcanic island. They have not had an eruption there for many, many years. And this is due to the fact that there are points of release for the gases and the heat that build up underneath. They have a reef right on the ocean, the Caribbean side of the ocean, they call it the Champagne Reef, and it's because there's all this hot volcanic water bubbling up. The gas is bubbling up through the water. They have a few, certainly hot springs in the area, but they also have a lake that's called Boiling Lake, and it is a boiling lake. Again, another pressure release for this volcano. And that's really the way we like to think about our emotions. We should be paying attention to our emotions as they happen, in the little bits, in the little bursts that happen, so that we don't have a great building up of the pressure and then an explosion. And this can happen with anger. We often think of that in terms of anger, but it can be sadness. It can be fear. The little fears build up, and then all of a sudden you have a panic attack. So it can be many different varieties of emotions that present. So the first step in dealing with our emotions, preventing the volcano eruption, is to be aware. When are we feeling emotions during the day? If you want to get more detailed into how we manage our emotions, you can also refer back to my previous blog, and you can get that at hilzingerhealing.com, which goes through more extensively how we can manage some of our strong emotions that occur. First thing, though, is to pay attention. Second thing is to not necessarily take ownership of that feeling. We want to say, instead of saying, I am sad, I am angry, that really gives us no choice, no room to move with that emotion. It's something that we are. I am just angry. As opposed to saying that, we like to think of it as, turn it a little bit and say, I have sadness, or, oh, there's sadness, there's some anger. Look at that anger. So you step back and you see it and you notice it. That often breaks the cycle so that it doesn't get to the point where we're going to erupt with our emotions. So I want to give you an example of my own. I have typically been one who takes on a lot of sadness, other people's sadness. You got some sadness? I'll take it for you. So if I'm not aware of it, if I'm not paying attention to it, first off, I can't stop that. That's the ideal, is just to not accept another's sadness. Doesn't mean I don't have compassion for that sadness. It means that it's not mine, that it's best that they deal with it. Not only can I not stop that, but if I do take it on, I don't know what to do with it, and it builds up, including my own sadness that happens. So that first step in awareness keeps that from building up. And quite a few years ago, it was an issue for me, and it took me a while to figure out what was going on. But once it was pointed out to me, then I was able to just release it in the little bits that it came up. Release that. I am not sad, though there's some sadness. There was somebody else's sadness, and let it go. It's just a mindset, and it really works wonders if you can get that and remind yourself to do that little switch. So that's where we are today, and I hope you will continue reading. We've got some great article suggestions that are being posted. Were posted yesterday and will continue into the rest of the week. And then this Thursday, this coming week, I will also be talking about opioids in particular and the issues that we are dealing with and how best to manage those if you are on opioids and possibly other alternatives for you. So until then, with healing and adventure, take care.